the only ballot drop box in Cuyahoga County, Ohio. You can see this woman right here casting her vote. Did you vote for Reagan or Jimmy Carter?
Carter.
Carter, okay.
What's up, guys? Boy, Benny. What if I had an entire channel based on how it is wrong to steal? It is wrong to go loot a store, to walk into Walmart, and to walk out with bags of stuff and not pay for it. And then video emerges of me doing the exact same thing, right? Me walking out Black Friday with a giant TV from Walmart. Did you pay for that? No, sir. You'd be like, let's see, you are a jack and you suck. And it sucks to suck. And so I'm not going to suck, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be intellectually consistent in my morals. And I'm going to say that stealing is wrong no matter who does it. Even if it benefits me, it's wrong. Which is really important because stealing of our elections are happening all across America. And it's a Republican problem and a Democrat problem. And even though I consider myself to be far more populist and far more center-right, that doesn't make it right when Republicans steal elections. It's as wrong. And it's also evil, and I don't look the other way. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. My home state of Iowa. Turns out that you can steal elections there too, in red states that went for Donald Trump by 10 points. Donald Trump won Iowa in landslides in 2016 and 2020, yet people are still stealing elections there. Republicans are stealing elections there. The wife of a county elected official faces 52 counts of voter fraud. What did she do? The wife of Woodbury County Supervisor Jeremy Taylor faces 52 counts of voter fraud for an alleged scheme in which she fraudulently filled out absentee ballot requests and voter registration forms and cast absentee ballots on behalf of others during Taylor's unsuccessful run for Congress in 2020. They told you 2020 was the most secure election in our lifetimes, and they lied to you. And if they lie to you about these kind of things, what else are they lying to you about? Primary elections, re-election board, Falls general election. Kim Fung Taylor. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that. It's like a Vietnamese name. Was arrested on Thursday and pleaded not guilty to 26 counts of providing false information, registering, voting, 3 counts of fraudulent registration, 23 counts of fraudulent voting. She was released on a personal reconnaissance board and ordered to surrender her passport and may not apply for a new one. Trial is scheduled in the U.S. District Court of Sioux City. Federal indictment unsealed on Thursday spelled out a scheme in which Kim Taylor allegedly approached members of Sioux City's Vietnamese community, filled out the voter registration forms in their names, and also voted for them, signing affidavits with their names. Her actions took place in the lead up to the June primary election in which Jeremy Taylor unsuccessfully ran for the Republican nominee for Iowa's 4th congressional seat. But it turns out that she also committed fraud in an election in which her husband defeated a Democrat for the county board by nearly 2,000 votes. Oh my. A call seeking comment made to Jeremy Taylor's cell phone went straight to voicemail. No one answered the home phone. Kim Taylor's attorney declined to comment. According to the U.S. Justice Department's new release, the FBI continues to investigate the case. A spokeswoman for the FBI Omaha field office referred questions to the U.S. Attorney's Office, and so on. So hold up. Let me just, let's just start from square one here. It's always the same, okay? It's always the same. This happens to be a Vietnamese community. We have a story of a woman who's Latina from Arizona, and she was going to the Hispanic community. And she's now facing federal charges for registering people in the Hispanic community. I'm sure this happens in white communities and black communities, and you can see it across the board. The breakdown is always the exact same, okay? The breakdown is always the exact same. You can see here, Iowa woman charged with 52 counts of voter fraud in scheme to aid her husband's 2020 races. This woman is a Republican trying to win Republican races. It doesn't make it any, this is her husband and this is her. Okay. There's absolutely, you're gonna get more criticism from me because you're a Republican. Shame on you. Again, I'm not going to shy away from this because this woman committed voter fraud to help out a political party that I tend to align myself with more. That makes it more wrong. It's incredible how the structure is always the same. The game is always the same here. Unaccountable, mail-in or absentee ballots, right? Either harvested or chosen by people who can go into communities with old people or people that don't speak English or whatever and harvest their votes, okay? You harvest the votes. Sometimes you just steal the votes. In Boston or Massachusetts, people were just straight up stealing the votes.
Boston exclusive. State and local officials are looking into allegations of attempted voter fraud in Lawrence, and we've exclusively obtained video footage from a Lawrence man's home appearing to show a woman removing ballots from his mailbox.
ABC 10's Darren Botello spoke with Secretary of State Bill Galvin about all of this. Darren, what did he have to say?
Well, right now, there are 2 police reports alleging voter fraud in Lawrence at this time, and there could be more on the way. We are told that there is an investigation going on at both the state and local level. And one man tells us he actually caught a woman on camera going into his mailbox stealing ballots.
There you go.
This is the Ring camera video appearing to show a woman taking out 3 ballots from a Lawrence man's mailbox.
So this is really important. Iowa has different laws, right? Iowa, I don't believe, has mail-in voting laws. I think it's much harder. But the principles are all the same. Whether the person goes up and just steals the ballot, or whether this woman in Iowa went to the Vietnamese community and fraudulently filled out absentee ballots, right? Because absentee ballots are something that have been around for a long time. It's all the same, and it leads to the same result. Check this out.
Has her signature forged.
How come it's not going to be counted if I'm voting right in front of you and I'm telling you that that vote that you have there is not mine?
So this is a woman from the same Boston News report saying that she showed up to vote. They said, nope, you've already voted. She goes, what are you talking about? Show me. And they showed her, and she goes, that's not my signature. Because somebody stole her ballot. That's what happened, and voted for her. And that's the same thing that happened in Iowa. It's the same damn thing. It's the same thing that happened in Patterson City, New Jersey. Blue state, red state, Republican, Democrat. These were a bunch of Democrats running against each other. This is wild. They stole mail-in ballots. They opened them up. And then they voted. They tore up the ballots that didn't vote for them. And they inserted ballots that did vote for them. This is insane. This is in New Jersey. In Connecticut, of course, we've covered this a lot. In Connecticut, the ballot process was so effed that a judge threw out the election. He threw out the election in Bridgeport, Connecticut, because so many illegal ballots were stuffed into the outdoor ballot drop box. The judge says the volume of ballots so mishandled is such that it calls the result of the primary election into serious doubt and leaves the court unable to determine the result of the primary. And the judge said this should be shocking to all parties. Here you go. This is the same person as this. Same people. Same person. This is Wanda, who literally on camera stuffed bag after bag after bag of ballots into the drop box. Here's Wanda. It's slightly different systems because these people have mail-in ballots. I don't think Iowa has universal mail-in ballots, but it's all the same principle. Illegally acquire a ballot. This lady doesn't have this lady is illegally handling ballots, right? In this video. She presumably went around her neighborhood or went to communities that she knows, harvested and gathered up a bunch of ballots, and then shoved them into the drop box. And you're not allowed to do that in Connecticut. It's all on camera. There it is. Here's Wanda. This is the same version in Iowa. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. And of course, the greatest clip ever, CNN catching someone ballot stuffing in 2020.
Ballot drop box in Cuyahoga County, Ohio. You can see this woman right here casting her vote. Did you vote for Reagan or Jimmy Carter?
Carter.
Carter, okay. We don't want to get too personal with people here, but you can see there's actually a traffic jam. We can come.
Look at the amount of ballots the lady has. Look at this. Look at this. Publishers Clearinghouse. Look at that. In Ohio, you're not allowed to vote for anyone else. You're not allowed to handle anyone else's ballot. She's just shoving ballots in there in Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what voting looks like in Georgia. People just shoving dozens of ballots at a time into the drop boxes. How are you ever supposed to run a free and fair election in this country if you do not have rules that actually secure our elections? Again, and I'm actually kind of glad for this story. I'm kind of glad for this story because, quite frankly, like it's high time that we have a conversation about how wrong this is, no matter who it benefits. And that's a conversation I'm willing to have. The problem is that Democrats have made this process benefit them so severely. They created this process and it's benefited them so much that they don't want to even have this conversation. You're not allowed to have this conversation. But I'll talk about it. I'll be intellectually honest about it. I'll shoot directly from the hip and say, of course, it's wrong on both sides. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, as my grandmother used to say. And now it's time to get serious about fixing our broken election systems. When the ballots are worth less than the paper that they're printed on, then you will have worthless elections. Period. We have to secure our elections. We have to fix our elections. And we need to be a country that actually trusts our election results. I am 100% in favor of that. Now, I look forward to the other side calling out Democrats cheating in their elections. I give you just 2 examples. I can give you thousands of examples of this happening. Heritage Foundation has an entire resource site of this. I can give you thousands of examples of people being federally charged for election fraud all across the country, Republicans and Democrats. So who's on the left calling this out? I won't hold my breath. I may suffocate. Ladies and gentlemen, try not to choke on all the fraud in this country. Trying to fix it so we can breathe easy and trust our election results. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See you.